Ladies and gentlemen, aspirants on the platform of the NDC, I want to start this topic by asking a question first. Please, those at the back, please kindly one meeting. The question I would want to ask is that how many electoral constituencies are in the FCT? Does anybody have an idea? Electoral constituencies for the general election in the FCT. If nobody is volunteering to answer this question, I think I would attempt to do it. We have 1 senatorial seat and 2 federal constituencies in the FCT. One comprises of Ahmed and Buhari. The other, the southern one, comprises of Gwagwalada, Abaji, Kuje, which other local government? Kwali. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that I learned as of today that there are about 4 aspirants vying for the Senate. I don't know, the number may increase before tomorrow or next tomorrow. And there are 17 aspirants vying for 1 federal constituency of Amak and Buhari. Now, the question is, how many is NDC allowed to fill in Amak Buhari federal constituency? Only 1. So, out of 17, there would only be 1. It means 16 would be dropped or out of the race. So may I ask also, what do we expect the 16 that are not on the ballot to do? I'm saying this because you as aspirants have to do justice to yourself. And the party is faced with a Herculean task. What's that task? The entire Electoral Act was skewed to frustrate the opposition political parties. All of it. In fact, I dare say that the government of APC and the government of President Ahmed Tinubu set up a committee long time before the bill was taken to the National Assembly to fashion an electoral act that would only be to the advantage of the APC. That was what they had done. And this could be proved simply here by saying that by the time the National Assembly deliberated and finalized on the draft electoral bill, within an hour, the president was signing the bill. Did he study that bill? To know? So it means they have already a prepared bill before him. He was only waiting for what the National Assembly will do and he will assign. Now, what were the contents of that bill? One of them, which concerns this summit, is that you can only generate candidates through 2 ways. That is, through consensus or through direct primaries. And I'm in a position to talk on this because I am a victim. Maybe before I finish, I will launch an endowment from you people to help me pay a fine of 150 million naira that I was found to be guilty by a court in Kano for an event, direct primaries, that took place in 2011 as a national secretary of the defined Congress for Progressive Change. So with this pain and burden on my head, I'm in a position to talk about direct primaries and consensus. Now, in the opinion of the APC and its government, they thought that the opposition will not be in a position to sit down and do consensus. And if they can't do consensus, the only option open to them is to go and do direct primaries. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say, without fear of being contradicted, that no political party in the opposition can do a direct primaries and come out completely clean. It's not possible. Because, not that we cannot organize ourselves. What the APC wanted to do, when we go into the issue of direct primaries, they will send the facts, as they had done in Kano in 2011, where 3 people were killed and about 57 people were hospitalized on that day. That was what led to going to court, and that was how I was fined as a national secretary of the party 150 million naira. So, now, you as aspirants, would you have the patience to accept the verdict of the party when we do a consensus? You can only answer that question to yourself. Is it good for the country, for us to accept the position of the party such that the party becomes on a ballot and represented by a candidate, or we go to court and start wahala among ourselves and the party ends up without a candidate? Now, I also know as a fact that a lot of you seated here were also sponsored by the APC or some other political parties. And what you are supposed to do for them is to say, I know, agree, and then the NDC does not field their candidate. Would that be fair to the people of Nigeria? No. You see this card? This card belongs to an individual. And he met a friend of mine in the bank yesterday. He went to pay for an expression of interest for the presidential slot in the NDC. Maybe he's here, I don't know him. And that, my friend, they drew into a conversation. He was talking to somebody that he wants to pay for the expression of interest to run for the president on the ticket of the NDC. He said, we go teach them lesson that once we get the form to run, they either settle me at my own price or we invite the government to assist us, Dabaru, everything. That is for the presidency. I have his name and telephone here on this card that I've just shown you. So if that is being done for the presidential slot on NDC platform, I also have on authority. Is there anybody from Delta here? Raise your hands. It's okay. You have a problem coming to you. we have an agent of the governor of Delta State. His advisor came into the NDC and bought 5 slots for certain constituencies in Delta. Do you remember Delta in the 2023 election? Over 100 billion naira of Delta's people's money was spent on campaign. So now, maybe there are certain key constituencies that they want to buy expression of interest and nomination forms for, such that either no candidate emerges from those constituencies, or that they spend a lot of money in order to emerge candidates and just go home and sleep, such that we lose those constituencies. If we have this evidence for the presidential slot, and we have this evidence from Delta, what guarantee do we have that that is not also happening in other states of the Federation? So, you may ask, why is this man talking about all this? I have an interest. I keep on telling people that I'm over 75. I have no business in standing before you and talking to you about these issues. I shouldn't be in the trenches now with you. But I have children, I have grandchildren, and if there are not enough foot soldiers with knowledge to fight what is bad, maybe some of us who are old must take the AK and fight our way through for a better Nigeria. Now, having had this, I said there are 17 aspirants to the Federal House of Representatives in Amak and Buhari. Only one man will carry the flag of the NDC during the elections. I want to plead with you, all of you. I want to plead with you and tell you the bitter truth. This party, if there are officers of this party, they should know that they cannot afford to do direct primaries. It's not possible. If we attempt it, the NDC will end up without candidates for election. So we have to give and take. As I speak to you now, NDC is the most strongest political platform that can successfully challenge the APC and root it out of government. So all of us should promise ourselves that it is not an issue of either it is me or nobody. The party cannot afford to do primaries because they will send the people to debaroo everything and we end up without a candidate. So it is better for us to maintain unity, to maintain loyalty to the party and to the decision of the elders of this party or the major stakeholders of all our constituencies, that whoever emerges as a candidate for any constituency in this country, that we will all support that person to succeed. Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you ready to make the sacrifice? Unless you do that, or unless you are not being sent by the APC, then it means we are on the right course. But I know that if you are sent by the APC to go and say, no, I no agree, there is nothing we can do to persuade you if you don't get what you want to accept the verdict of the party. We know that one. Because I had been in this business for the last 48 years. From 1978 to date, I'm doing the same thing. National Youth Leader of the NPN, National Financial Secretary of the NRC, National Secretary of the Congress for Progressive Change. I should know. And I attended 1987 Constituent Assembly, 1994 Constitutional Conference, 2014 National Conference, to fashion a constitution for Nigeria. So I'm in a position to know all the nuances, all the dots in all these matters. Gentlemen and ladies, or ladies and gentlemen, as you may want me to call it. I want to see who wants Tinubu's government to continue. No, please, if there is, don't feel ashamed. It's your democracy we are talking about. Is there anybody here? No. So if you don't want Tinubu's government to continue, even if the party sits, because Tinubu has destroyed democracy, what he has just done by these ways of generating candidates, he thought he's stifling the opposition because he thought that they are in government in 36 states of the federation. Don't mind the other ones who they are all supporting, even Abia, Anambra, Bauchi, or Ibadan. Secretly, they tell Tinubu that, sir, just allow us to get our piece of the cake and form. We will support you. Is that not what they are saying? Yes. So if they are all 36 governors or 36 states, including the emperor here in Abuja, are all supporting you, why are you afraid of an election? Please. Why? 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 I can't understand. They commissioned a poll by some international companies. One of the results of the poll said that Tinubu will score 18% if the elections were done on that day. And the other one that was so generous to him, saying he will score 22% as at that time. And I believe that the graph of the popularity of APC and its government is sliding down the hill, not going up. So they will have no chance at all to win any election. The only chance they have is by using you to facilitate chaos in your own political parties in such a way that they can write figures and announce themselves. Can we agree to this? No! Let me tell you, there is no justice in Nigeria. Carry that behind your head. No justice. And where there is no justice, there will be no peace. I want to say that we can only do justice to ourselves. And we have to force that justice. You know how they manipulate the courts. You know how they manipulate the security. Thank God that now there will be a division even within the security. Now that the man who is helping him to arrest and jail people, his own powers have been cut by 99.9%. So, ladies and gentlemen, the topic said positioning the opposition towards electoral victory and national unity. Some opposition figures of opposition political parties do not understand. The coming of the NDC had brought a relief. NDC had brought a relief to the NDC, they may not understand. If not for the coming of the NDC, the ADC could have been a history by now. And there will still be a history. But the message I want to pass to them is that we are not each other's enemy in the opposition. We should be complementary. And that we should be in a position that 1 week or 2 days to election, that the opposition parties should look at themselves honestly in the mirror and say, look, Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. And that Mr. A or Party B is in a better position to win this election. Let's all come together and throw the APC government out of the window. So if we dissipate our energies in fighting ourselves, and you know, if people are fighting you, everybody is fighting you, it means they believe that you are strong. If NDC is not strong, they will not be fighting the NDC. All of them, they are dissipating their energy. Instead of fighting the APC, they are fighting the NDC. I can't understand why. I can't understand. That shows you that the NDC is in the forefront of the opposition. And that the others have no chance. And that people should know that the judiciary is still holding the sword of the buckle on the heads of other political parties. We are clean, newborn baby, without blemish, without that, without any. That is why we are the only political party that even without saying anything, we had settled for who will carry our banner at the highest level during the 2027 election. We should hang on to this, and it is a message to all of you aspirants at various levels of electoral contest that we must behave like what Peter Obi and Senator Rabiu Musa Konkoso are doing. They had agreed to work with each other and accept idiots like this postcard I showed you come to destabilize us. We would have a seamless convention where in a place like this room we will declare our president and vice presidential candidate and on the 1st of June we will be on the campaign trail. I want to say, without fear, that INEC can never do justice to us. Maybe other commission members of INEC, definitely Professor Omupitan, that I thought was taken to maybe Okija Shrine to swear that he will declare Tinubu, can never do justice to you and me. So we must force him and do justice to ourselves. It's the only way. You know one thing. Me, when they talk big here, I'm afraid to die. Oh. Before, I'm not afraid. But now, at this age, even say I ask, how many months or years remain for me? So, if anybody knows that if he cheats or if he does injustice, he will have something to lose, he will be careful in doing what he wants to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that can stop this movement from forming the next government, it is only ourselves, members of the NDC, that can stop ourselves. It is better that all the 17 federal aspirants in Ahmed Buhari, among themselves, they produce one person. And all of us work for the victory of this party. And we have Peter Obi and Kwankwaso as president and vice president. All the 16 will be taken care of by the federal government of Nigeria. So why do we lose all? All they can give you is a breakfast ticket. Once you finish what they want you to do, by lunch they will off their phones and you will never see them until 4 years. Those guys there. So we have to be careful in people instigating us to fight our party. Ladies and gentlemen, at least I've said much. There is a professor waiting to talk. May I go night school? You know, I thank God that the organizers wanted me to speak first. Because if you allow a professor to speak, you people will not listen to me. And definitely, I have given some messages which ought to be registered in the minds of all our aspirants. The task ahead is not small. And I tell you that INEC cannot do justice to us. Unity of purpose within the NDC is where to go. And I can tell you why INEC cannot do justice. You know, the official campaigns are supposed to start October. Official campaign according to the Electoral Act. But ABC had been campaigning since the second day Bola Tinubu became president of Nigeria. And nobody in INEC has got the lever to tell him that it is not campaign period. So, what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. We should also start. Why I didn't want us to start early is that the opposition does not run a marathon race because you will get tired before the D-Day comes. So you do a 100-meter sprint. Once you start, you have the energy to finish up. That is why we were delaying. But now that by the 30th of this month, we will have all our candidates in place, it is between us and them. Thank you very much.